He's taken down for a sack. Taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a
him up. What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense.
To try again after the sack. Prescott, they'll set up the screen. Back at the 42. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll try and set up the screen. It'll be back at the 36. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Robert Quinn. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
6-0 our score after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it staring at a 3rd down and 13.
Check. Watch the before. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Check. Mike 54.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that look. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ends up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say,
and he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defense.
And a pressure gets to him again. Tyrone Crawford providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Right there.
4th down, Cousins. And my goodness, this is incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. From just shy of midfield, Prescott flushed out right. He's going to let this go. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play.
Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5 now. Cousins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. So we now proceed to the start of the second half.
That's the end of the first half with the score Cowboys 6.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. And out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From the 27, cutting loss here as he's taken down. Antoine Woods. Excellent job on that play. A big loss. 18 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Come on.
On 2nd and inches, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet enough.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Tyrone Crawford able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Lets it fly deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Antoine Woods picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. Those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Tyrone Crawford getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Back now in Arlington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They go to Elliott again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not good. Overlooking to throw. Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
A very solid gain of 27.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Intended that time for Cooper. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Going deep for Diggs. And no, it's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. On 2nd and goal. Prescott. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Elliott, and they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The kick by Marr is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So Cousins and the Vikings down 9-3. A little over 50 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. We'll go again.